everyone, welcome back to my channel Easy Learning with RP. Myself Rakesh Patel. In today's video, I am going to show you how you can automate the data entry in Excel using UserForms. This method will help you to streamline your workflow and reduce errors when entering the data. So let's get started. First, let's talk about what a user form is. It's a feature in Excel that allows you to create a graphical interface for data input. This makes it easier for everyone to enter data without directly interacting with the worksheet. Let's see what we are going to develop in this particular video. We will recreate this form which contains four information, that is a name, email ID, phone number and address. When we add the information in this particular field and submit the form, it will automatically add to the last empty row in a particular sheet. Let's have an example over here. I am putting my information, and now when I click on a submit, you can see that the data is already in the sheet 1. So let's see how to design this particular form. Step 1 is setting up the Excel workbook. I have a sheet here, name, data, where the entries will be stored. I have created some headers like name, email, phone number and address that we are going to use in this user form. Let's move to the development side. Click Visual Basic or press Alt F11 to enter the Visual Basic editor. Here we need to add user form. For that, right click on your project, insert and select user form. This will give us a blank form where we will add our controls on it. On the right hand side, you can see the toolbox that contains the controls. Let's add property window also from view property window. This is going to help us to control our objects on the form. The form does not contain any of the controls right now, even though we can execute this form by pressing F5 or clicking on the green arrow on the toolbar. So that will show us an empty form on the screen. This is not going to do anything right now. We can just close it out and do the rest of the design. Let's take first label control and put it on the form. On the left hand side, you can see the properties that are used to control all the objects on the form. Here the caption is the property where you can change the value. Let's change it to name. You can also change other properties like font, back color, font color, height and other things. Let's start with the font. I'm going to change this value to, let's say, 16. Okay, so it will make a little bit bigger in the size for the visualization. Even you can change it out the background color. For example, let's say take a back color to bluish kind of thing. Okay, highlight is there. Okay, so you can change a color. Oh, even you can create a transparency if you need. Let's take another label, or we can create a copy of this label and put it wherever we need. I am creating 4 copies right now and just rename with the changing the caption. These are just a label on the form, so it is not going to be editable. If you run the form, you can see that there is nothing to input. Let's go and create an input box. Input box will help user to put some information over the screen so they can type the information. We can also modify the layout if required. Let me put it email and phone number side by side and move the text box below the name. This looks better, right? Okay. So you can make, let's add some more text boxes to the field. I'm just copying and pasting the text box right now. Let's add the address also, and I'm going to make an address text box little bit. I will add a height to it so we can have multiple lines in the address. Okay. Okay, now let's run it out and see how it looks. Okay, yeah. And when we press enter, it moves cursor from one control to another. Also, the same thing can be achieved with the tab key. If you put a tab, it will work. But in the address bar, you see that I cannot enter over there. Only a single line is available. So for to do the changes, we can update the property this multi-line as a true. This will allow multi-lines in a true. But wait, there is one another property that's required. See, still we are not able to add the multiple lines over here. So why it is so? Because there is one more property named as a enter key behavior. Make it a true. This will allow user to put multiple lines as a value in a text box. Let's see. Yeah, we are able to put the multiple lines over here now. Next, let's add a control to this that will have an action for the submit and clear. So first of all, let's add a control button from here and put it on the canvas. Let's change the caption to submit form. Okay. Let's make the font a little bit bigger. Let's say 16. Okay, it looks better. Okay, let's make a form little bit more. And I had to just copy and paste the control button and changing the caption from for clear form. Okay, so we are done with the layout right now. If you execute the form and see that everything is working, looks okay. Let me change the font for this text boxes. You can change one by one, or you can select the controls with a press the control key from the keyboard and select all that, and you can change at a time. Okay, one more thing need to be done. I think the height of the text box is little bit smaller. Let's change the height to, yes, this is the property yeah, this is the property where we can change the height. Let's change it to 28, and let's see one more time. Yeah, it looks better now. Okay, so when we click on a submit form or clear, nothing is happening because we did not write any code right now. And let's jump into it. Before writing the code, let me tell you one more thing. When we added a control default, every control has its own name. See, if we click on the text box, you can see text box 1 as a name property at the top. For the label 1 is there. Okay, so each and every control is having its own default name. Automatically, when we select and copy and paste, the label numbers get automatically added. See, each and every control have its own name. We need to make it in a such a way that we can identify while do a coding, because these are the things that we are going to use in a code. So let me change this name as a txt name. So when we write a code, we can have that particular thing. I am going to change each and every control name with the initial of txt and then the type of control. For example, again, txt phone, and the last one, txt address. Okay, the same way we can also change other controls name like the command buttons. We can identify them as a command button 1 and command button 2 right now, but we can change for a better understanding. Let's name it as a cmd submit form. Okay, and the same for the clear form. Let's make it cmd clear form. Okay, so these are the controls name that we will be able to find helpful while we do a code. Let's see now how we can start our coding. To do a code, double click on any of the control that you want to execute. See, on the top there are two options. See, on the top there are two options. CMD submit form, it is showing over there, right? These are the control list. whatever the controls we have used on the form, these are all listed over here. You can see address, email, name, and everything. Okay, the same way submit form is also a button, command button of submit form is also there. Okay, the parallel, each and every control has its own events. Okay, that is on the right hand side. If you click on over there, you can see number of events are listed here. Okay, we are going to have a click event for this submit button, where on the click we can have the action what we want to do with this form. Okay. So on a submit, what we want to do, we want to add that information to the Excel datasheet. Okay, so let's start code to that. Let's create a variable first with the name WS, and initial we use dime WS as worksheet. Okay, this variable is going to have the information of data sheet that we already named as a data. Okay, so for that we write set WS equal to this workbook dot sheet, and in bracket string में, in the string data. So in these two lines, let me put side by side this window for a better understanding. Okay, so we can see that on the left hand side we have the form, and on the right hand side we are doing our code. Just to identify what we are doing right now, let's see. We need to put the first information at a cell A2 to D2. Okay, so each and every empty cell, we need to first find it out which one is the next empty cell where we want to put the information. And to do that, we will create one more variable with the name next row as long, because we don't know how many rows are going to be impacted. So we are taking a variable with a long that can hold a number of values over there. And we will set that next row equals to, write with me, ws.cells into bracket ws.rows.count comma 1 dot end bracket excel up bracket complete dot row plus 1. This formula will help us to identify the last empty position. Now let's update all the information to this cell values. First of all, we will go with the text name. We will write ws.cells next row comma 1 bracket dot value equal to txt name dot text. Even you can use one more property. Instead of text, you can also use property name value. Both are going to have the information that you are going to type over there. Next, we will add all the information one by one. Okay, let's go and test our code. We can press F5. So our form is executed. Let's put it over here. I am just putting some random text, name, email ID as a rakesh@gmail.com, phone number 1234567. Okay, address Halol, Gujarat. And when I click on a submit, you can see on a fly that it has added our information to the cell value. Even again, I click on submit form, you can see that again the same line is getting repeated and putting the information on the next row. Okay, but here we have a glitch that when we submit it out, it is not getting cleared. So let's make that functionality. And to do that, you just have to do a clean. Okay, so we have added a value, so we can change that value to blank, text name dot value equal to blank, and do the rest for the same. I'm just copying and pasting it out. So here what we are doing, we are just changing the value, whatever the user has added, to the blank. Now let's test it one more time. And again, we will add some random text. On a click, you will see, on a click of submit, it added a row over there, and parallelly it has cleared the form. In case if you don't want to submit the form and want to clear the content, you can just click clear form. Okay, we will copy and paste this content from here to this. And now when we click on a clear form, it should clean. Yeah, it has cleaned the content. Okay, so both the things are running very well. When you submit the form, it will add a row. When you clean the form, it will not add the information, just will clean the form. But now here one more thing need to be achieved. That is, when we click on a submit or a clean the form, it should focus on the first cell, right? It is not doing right now. Let's make it out how we can do that. For that, we need a property name set focus. Okay, so how we will achieve it? Let's click text name dot set focus, and that's it. Writing this simple one line, it will automatically get focused to the control. And that's how you can automate data entry using user forms in Excel. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and comment below if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.